Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As you know, this week is going to be crazy for AMC, and I want to go over some of the price targets, some of the ranges that I am looking at for AMC stock to go in this upcoming week. Now, one of the most beautiful things that I have said in a couple videos now this time around with AMC is AMC has the potential to move massively, huge, and you could still play the options and make thousands of percents as we plan to do. We had some positioning, sure, we caught this move, that's great, we've held our shares, but some of that leverage, oh baby, sweet leverage can be great in the good times, bad in the bad times. I never recommend you guys listen to anything I say. Risk it for the biscuit if you want to. If not, then steer far clear, because most of you guys, hopefully all of you guys, still have your positioning in AMC and you're going to be doing just fine. Now, AMC stock at the time of recording this video sitting at $7.17 per share, up 63% on Friday. And this is just the start. So let's go ahead and get into all of it. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comments section. So first things first, I want to talk about what's happening over this weekend. Barbie. These numbers are going to change as of right now. Barbie is seeing the best year-to-date opening for any movie in 2023 at $150 million. I'm sure as the numbers finalize later in the day today on Sunday, you're going to see this number come in over $200 million. Oppenheimer opens at $80 million. This is over $300 million for the U.S. box office. This is, something that is a big deal. Now, this is a big deal normally, right? This is positive news normally. But even this time around, considering AMC and this, the judge ruling on the settlement not going through and the ultimate conversion not going through, well, this is even better news. And this could be an even bigger reason for AMC stock to rally in this upcoming week. Now, the main story of this upcoming week is the fact that hedge funds institutions are totally screwed. I mean, this would be, let me just say this flat out, this would be a much different video right now if hedge funds and institutions were actually hedged out for the possibility of what we've seen happen. They were not. Nobody was expecting this happening. We've talked about it before, but the put to call ratio is at the highest level that it has been at ever. In January, hedge funds were more hedged. In June of 2021, hedge funds were more hedged. Ever since this arbitrage trade came out, hedge funds and institutions have essentially assigned a 100% probability this was going to go through. It was not expected to not happen. I even expected this to happen. And I probably the most bullish AMC analyst that you're going to see, right? That you're going to listen to. And I still expected this to go through. So even this caught me off guard. Not to mention the hedge funds and institutions. Now, every data point you look at is suggestive of a short squeeze, potentially all-time highs. Now, we'll talk about my price prediction later on into this video. But, I mean, this was not supposed to happen. Long story short. The option activity that we've seen over the past week, $170 million, that got blown out. Not to mention the options that are held on the option chain. A big option expiration is going to be, let's go ahead and pull it up on Stocko Tracker. The big option expiration from now is going to be August. August, you're seeing a lot. Dude, look at these puts, guys. In the money puts at 367,000. In the money puts at 846,000. The activity here is insane on the put side. Call side is seeing about 334,000 calls out the money. In the money puts at 45,000. Now, something interesting to know that we have not talked about yet since this ruling from the courts is there is so little bullish positioning right now currently and over the next couple of weeks that if you're probably going to see a lot of bullish positioning, a lot of bullish options being bought, and that could fuel a gamma squeeze as well, especially a lot of those short-term options. When those start to get placed, that can be equally, if not more, effective to driving up AMC or any other stock for that matter than even shorts covering, right? The options are leverage, so it's leveraging that move. If you start to get a lot of big money buying options, that's what you're going to see happen. Now, the way that I look at this is two outcomes for the short sellers. The most obvious one, the most likely one, shorts just cover on their short positions. But the other alternative is shorts cover on maybe some of their short positions. Obviously, that's going to happen. But if they don't want to do that necessarily, they could go out and buy options. And that alongside FOMO and retail, everyone's talking about AMC right now. That is going to be a big form of buying pressure. We cannot quantify sitting here on Sunday before the options market opens. So something to keep your eyes on starting off the trading day on Monday. If you're seeing a lot of option activity, a lot of people are pressing those bids and really getting into some of these positions, that could be a big sign of a, continued move higher and potentially a big move higher. Now, all of the data you want to look at, no matter what it is, it's bullish for a short squeeze. Literally point it out and it's bullish. The dollar amount currently sold short in AMC stock, $626 million. Short sellers, based off the 63% move, lost over $300 million on equity alone, not to mention some of the options that obviously lost 50% of their value. The whole entire put option chain just lost 50% of its value. So you're talking hundreds of millions, billions of dollars that just evaporated essentially with this move. There's no recovering from that. 20% move, sure, fine, you might be able to recover from that. But a 60 to 100% move in after hours, you have no recovering from that. The options market was closed. Like, there was no reacting to it. And probably the judge did that for that specific reason, right? Maybe if AMC is not able to do this settlement and do a reverse split, maybe they can get shareholders to approve, dilution organically by just voting on it if AMC stock 10x's or whatever the case is. Now, we'll talk about it here in just a second. Just be patient. Short score of 96. That's the highest it's ever been. Free flow out on loan at 34.5%, highest it's ever been. Or not ever been, but highest it's been in a long time. Days to cover at 10.22, by far the highest it's ever been. In the last 18 months, the days to cover is up 300%. Utilization is at 85%. I think a lot of it was Ortex picking up on the ape stock that was being sold. I expect utilization to, go higher, go to 100%. I don't think that matters in the grand scope of things. Screw utilization at this point. Days to cover being at 10, that's a big deal. The short interest being at 29% is a very big deal. The option activity that we're going to see on AMC is a very big deal. That is huge. I really want to stress that here in this video. If I'm not, let me know and I'll stress it more in another video. It's massive. But again, hedge funds and institutions were not hedging for this event to happen at all. Like, you never see that in any other stock. You have never seen that before. Hedge funds, institutions blatantly ignoring the risk that AMC could rally, or for any other stock. This never happens. Ever does it happen. It's never happened, and it never will happen. There's always people hedging their portfolios, especially big money, but not right now. And hopefully this makes some sense, guys, because there's a lot of money to be made with the information that we're talking about here. Now, if you look at the cost of borrow fees, that's one of the most bullish things that we could even talk about as well. Cost of borrow fees, 1,000% from Interactive Brokers. AMC is still on the threshold securities list. I doubt we're going anywhere anytime soon as far as that is concerned. And cost of borrow fees, cost of borrow max at 1,050%, cost of borrow minimum 971%, cost of borrow average 984%. So these rates are absolutely insane. Now, as we talked about in the last video, things that are going to be happening this week, such as the economic data, right? You're going to get the GDP report, durable goods orders, you're going to get PCE, personal income, personal spending, all of that on Thursday and Friday. That's not going to be the biggest catalyst of this week. Biggest catalyst of this week will be the NASDAQ rebalancing on Monday. You're going to start off the trading day Monday, maybe really good or maybe really bad, right? Based off the rebalancing and how investors react to that. Tuesday, Microsoft and Google earnings. That's going to be huge. Those are your trillion-dollar companies that will be reporting earnings. That's obviously in after hours on Tuesday. That's probably the biggest catalyst that could affect the broader markets, that could help drain and squeeze liquidity out of the markets. That could be bullish for AMC and for a potential short squeeze. And then you have Meta on Wednesday, and that does tend to move the markets quite a bit as well. So we'll see how earnings come out. We'll see how some of these catalysts develop here. But as far as AMC and where I think this stock could go, you're currently at $7.17 per share. You blew past the 50, 100, 200-day moving average. You blew past the $6 resistance, the $5 resistance, the $7 resistance. You're right about here right now. So the last time we were at this level, AMC pretty much rallied to $8.50. Now, the high that we've seen in after hours was $8.76 per share. So I think that's a far gone conclusion that you might even open higher than that. That wouldn't surprise me. Now, I'm sure you get some sort of pullback in the first couple of minutes of trading. That's what happened back in June of 2021. AMC stock opened around $24 per share. It sold off to $22 per share, and then it rallied pretty consistently throughout the rest of the day. The second half of the day was more bullish than the first half of the day. Probably what you could see happen on Monday as well. That's kind of what I would expect to play out. Now, if you open somewhere around $8 per share, let's just imagine here you open somewhere around $8 per share, maybe $8.20 per share. You fall back down to about $7.50. You rally back up, and that's where you could probably continue to rally from there. Now, what I would expect is at the bare minimum $10 per share, bare minimum. But you could rally as high as $15 by the end of this week. And that's not even the highest you could rally. The highest you could rally by the end of this week, probably close to about $25 per share. $25 per share is close to where we were at in March of 2022. And there's a lot of reasons why the markets are more equipped to handle a short squeeze now than they were in 2022. Obviously, inflation was going crazy. The Fed was just starting to raise rates and be hawkish towards everything, essentially. The market environment during these times were not good for squeezes, and you've still seen squeezes. Look at Carvana. Carvana just 10x'd on kind of similar, situation to what just happened with AMC. A little bit different, obviously, but somewhat similar. So markets are going to be able to allow a potential, short squeeze to actually happen. So I don't think that's a big kind of factor that is weighing on us now like it did for a lot of 2022 and 2023. So by the end of this week, you could be at $25+ per share. Now, I don't expect this to just last 1 week. I think it's going to be volatile, right? And I think you could see something along the same lines as June, where you get, the second half of May is really where the rally started back in June. And these days were 20, 30% days, 40% days. And then you worked your way up to $20 per share. Then you had, the 95% day where AMC stock rallied $20 in a single day. So that's kind of, what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to make your way up to $15, $20 per share. Then you get the big blow off top rally as the shorts just can't bear the losses anymore. Now, once the losses start to get over about $2 billion, and if you're a viewer of this channel, then I will keep you up to date. But once the losses get to about $2 billion, that's where things could get bad pretty quickly. Now, we can actually go ahead and pull this data up as well. If we go to advanced over here on Ortex, I believe we can pull this data up, and we'll go ahead and try to do that right now. Let's go ahead and see. Yeah, I think I see it. Ortex estimated short interest value. So, that's what you've seen back here in August of 2022. You did see the dollar amount that was short in AMC, about $2 billion. If we take a look back here in June of 2021, you had about $5 billion at the high that was short in $5.5 billion that was short in AMC. So now you're at about $600 million after Friday's move. Today is not Friday. Today is Sunday. After Friday's move, you're sitting at about $1 billion. So you're back here to where you were roughly in August of 2022. what you've seen in August of 2022 at the high was about 2 billion. So once you get over that 2 billion mark, you're really in uncharted territory. Last time you were over 2 billion in a rally, you hit a high of 3 billion sold short. But before then, you were sitting, 3-4 billion pretty consistently, besides that squeeze in June. And they're so unprepared this time around. AMC could rally to all-time highs. I don't think it would happen this week. It's possible, but I think you need to make your way up to higher levels before you get that blow-off top rally, that 100, 200, 300% rally in a day or two that could take you to all-time highs. So that's going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comment section. What is your price target for this upcoming week with Tesla's, or with AMC stock? I've been talking about Tesla way too much lately. So that is it for this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the deal. If you want, check out the link down below in the description of this video to join the trading community as well. We would love to have you over there. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.